welcome back to the Road to Episode 7, my ongoing series where I chart the road to the release of Star Wars Episode 7 in December 2015, and we have a title! Yes, the title of Episode 7 has finally been revealed in what I would say would be an unusual low-key fashion, but actually everything so far that we've seen from Star Wars Episode 7 has been kind of announced very unceremoniously, which is very bizarre to me. I'm not sure why they're doing this, but it's cool that they are. It's unexpected, you never know when it's going to happen, and that's kind of exciting. I mean, I thought that they were going to announce that, you know, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford are going to be back in the film. They're going to do some big press conference, have a big hoopla, and, you know, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the cast of Episode 7, on they come, and everyone's like, oh my god, everyone's going crazy. But no, they just went, oh, here's a picture of everyone who's in the film. Yeah, there's Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Anthony Daniels, you know, all the new cast as well. I mean, it was just like, what? You know, it just came out of nowhere. And again, I've recorded my thoughts of that on this very series. And regarding this series, I was thinking today, earlier, before this even happened, that I should start making these videos again, which is really weird. In fact, Claire can attest to this. Earlier today I said I should get back onto my Episode 7 videos. I said the same thing to Ryan Chataway, and then an hour later, the title was announced. It's crazy how things work, and just when you start to kind of get off the Star Wars kick, it draws you back in, and I'm suddenly like, again. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I haven't covered. You know, it's been about 3 months since the last video I did, but you know, I got to the point where I was making the videos in this series, and it was like I was just commenting on the little stuff like Twitter posts and things like that, and I was kind of quoting things directly, and you know, I might still do that in the future, but for now I think I should just kind of round everything up very quickly and succinctly. You know, they've been filming, you know, all around the UK, different locations. There's been pictures leaked in the papers of, you know, like X-Wings and stuff on this big kind of grassy set that they had somewhere in England and all that kind of thing, and there's been pictures and all this kind of stuff. I mean, there's so many things that happened. There was the whole ALS Ice Bucket Challenge craze that was going on a few months back, and a lot of Star Wars members did that. I think that Oscar Isaacs and Adam Driver did one, and behind them in the background, covered in like a cloak from head to toe, was apparently Harrison Ford in full Han Solo gear, which I thought was hilarious. And then you had Mark Hamill doing his Ice Bucket Challenge, which was really funny because I did mine 2 days before Mark Hamill, and I did this little joke where I had like an ice cube in a glass, and I took the ice cube out, put it on my head and went, oh, really cold, there you go, you know. And then I actually did it, but Mark Hamill did the exact same joke pretty much. He had a little pipette full of ice cold water and just put a little bit on his head and was like, oh, that's cold, and then he got the actual ice bucket, and I thought, well, great Lukes think alike. But there's been loads of stuff, you know, I would like to talk about, but it just becomes hard when there's so much information coming out, you know, and you can look on websites that have news about the film coming out and all sorts of Star Wars news in general, you know, the new cartoon coming out, Rebels, things like that. There's so much stuff, and I just can't keep track of it. But this was definitely something I had to make a video about, and I'll be making 2 more videos after this as well. One, I want to talk about some spoilers regarding the plot, and 2, I want to talk about the fact that filming is wrapped, and I'll talk about that. Well, I guess I could just talk about it now, actually. So I'll just say one more video after this. But okay, so filming is wrapped. This week it was announced that Star Wars Episode 7 has finished principal photography. I'm sure there'll be pickups next year sometime. You know, that's very common for a film of this size. But principal photography is done. They had a wrap party. You know, Harrison Ford was seen walking around fine. Carrie Fisher was there. Mark Hamill was there. He shaved his epic beard off now. I wanted to make a video about his beard. That's how, like, I really did want to make a video of this series just saying Mark Hamill's beard, because it was just so epic, and he was seen talking about the film and stuff, various places, interviews and pictures of him out and about with this huge massive fuck off beard, and it was just like, that's awesome, you know. And I just thought he looked great in it, and really got me excited for the film because it gives him kind of an Obi-Wan look, and also adds something to this rumor about his character in the film, which I'll talk about in the next video, which will be a spoilers video because there's rumors that could contain plot spoilers. So I'll talk about my descent into the dark side when it comes to that. But I'm sorry if you're watching this for the title reveal. Well, of course you're not. Everyone knows it by now. I mean, it was announced like 10 minutes ago, and everyone's talking about it already. Twitter has blown up, and Facebook, everyone's talking about it on Facebook. So you know what the title is: Star Wars Episode 7: The Force Awakens, which will be, you know, hitting theaters in December 2015. What is my initial reaction to this title? Well, first of all, let's just rewind the past 5 minutes. Yes, 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 yes. Hello, welcome back to the Road to Episode 7, my ongoing series where I chart the road to the release of Star Wars Episode VII, The Force Awakens in December 2015. That is how I'm going to have to start these videos from now on, which adds even more to my ridiculously long diatribe that I do at the beginning of every single one of these videos because I can, I have done, and I will keep on doing. But anyway, The Force Awakens. That is a cool title. I like it. I think it's good. There was something to live up to with titles, you know. Phantom Menace came out. People were like, the Phantom Menace. Well, actually no. When the Phantom Menace came out, everyone was like, Star Wars! Like, I remember there's a great documentary, and I might have mentioned this before. I've never been able to find it again. It was like a feature-length fan film that was about the build-up to Star Wars Episode 1, and there was like footage of these guys in this parking lot. They'd seen the first trailer in front of this other film, and they were going nuts about it. They were like, oh, there was a bit where it was like Anakin Skywalker meet Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ah, you know, everyone's going crazy, and you know, they're buying toys there, the stores in midnight, and everyone went crazy and kind of didn't really pay too much attention to the title. Then once the backlash set in, you know, Attack of the Clones, people didn't like that. Revenge of the Sith, people didn't like that, and there was a rumor it was going to be called The Creeping Fear or something. And I remember Simon Pegg was on some chat show and he's like, The Creeping Fear sounds shit. You know, so the title had a lot to live up to, I think. And what was it? A New Dawn, I think, was one that was... I've talked about this in this series before. That's the thing, this series has been going on for almost 2 years now that I almost forget what videos I've done. And again, we're now like 40 odd videos into the anticipation of this whole thing, and we're still a year away. And I was saying to Claire earlier that there's still so much more. The title reveal, and it just happened out of nowhere. They just dropped it on Twitter. They were like, oh yeah, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens has finished principal photography, so that's something. Hashtag The Force Awakens. And it was like, fuck. Like, they just drop it in your lap like that. So, yeah, that was just kind of crazy, but I like it. My first initial reaction is good. The Force Awakens, there's a lot behind that, a lot of ways it could go, what it means, and it definitely gives you the feeling that it's starting something that will be substantial over another 2 sequels. You know, that's really what I feel like they have to do, is not only have a strong film that brings the nostalgia factor, establishes new things that we need to care about, but again, also establishing new things, a new kind of overarching story that we need to invest in for 2 more films for it to be a really great series of sequels. But either way, I'm just super excited, and The Force Awakens, I think, is a pretty cool title. It's not like, it doesn't make me think that is the most badass title ever, but I do really like it. And The Force Awakens, it really evokes things when you think about Return of the Jedi. You know, the last of the Jedi, the balance was brought to the Force. You know, go back to the prophecy that was, you know, kind of retconned into the series with Episode 1. But still, I like it. I like the whole, you know, bringing balance to the Force, and it still was part of the original trilogy. You know, because you know, you had these 2 dark forces, and you had Luke, and but then again, it was hinted that Leia would also have these powers, and then Yoda died, so it really felt like, you know, Luke and possibly Leia were the last of the Jedi at the end of Return of the Jedi, even though it's the Return of the Jedi. So, I mean, again, you got the books, you know, the Jedi Academy novels, which I love, but this is canon now, this is film, so where are they going to go with this? We're going to open up Episode 7, there's Jedis everywhere, and it's kind of come back into, you know, the world of Star Wars, or is Episode 7 kind of, you know, going to be like 30 years later, and now the Force starts coming back? I mean, there's so many different ways it can go, and yeah, so that's it. The Force Awakens. I really do like it. I think it's going to grow on me even more. So, and you got to realize as well, when people kind of trash titles of films, with the Star Wars series, it was always in tribute to films from the 30s, which had very cheesy titles. I mean, my favourite film of all time is a film called The Empire Strikes Back. It's a very cheesy title, but it fits Star Wars like a glove, and I think The Force Awakens doesn't quite fit like a glove, but I think it definitely is very comfortable in the Star Wars universe. I think it really works, and again, I think it's only going to grow on us. So next time I'm going to be making a video about a couple of spoilers that have come out. And also, screw it, I'm going to add this in here while I'm in a hyped mood. Teaser trailer. So, the teaser trailer is apparently done. There's been rumours that it's edited and currently in existence out there somewhere. But John Williams is apparently about to start recording the score in a couple of weeks. So there's thoughts that he's going to record some music for the teaser so they can get that out for the Christmas season, or even sooner. People have been saying it might come out sooner. There's rumours it'll come out with Into the Woods on Christmas Day, which is another Disney film, so it makes sense. I think there's also was it Big Hero 6 or Superhero 6 or something like that? Some animated Disney movie that people have been speculating it might be at the front of that as well. I think it's more likely for Into the Woods, but at the same time, going on what they've been doing so far, I can just imagine it being like, you know, just like January the 4th, and just being like, here's the trailer, there you go. You know, that it's just so random, the big announcements of Star Wars Episode VII so far. So especially the initial announcement, like, oh yeah, Disney, yeah, we bought Lucasfilm for $4.2 billion, and yeah, we're gonna make Episode 7, 8, and 9, and yeah, that's it. I mean, it was just like it blew my mind at the time, and it's 2 years removed now. We're 2 years past the point of Disney buying Lucasfilm, and this all being set in motion. So, and we've got another year until it starts becoming very real, which is going to be even more exciting than it is right now, which is crazy to think of. But anyway, that is it. Teaser trailer might be coming before the end of the year is out, and I'm sure I'll make a video on that. And but yeah, there will be another video pretty soon of me talking about some spoilerific kind of territory in terms of the plot. And again, you can avoid that video if you want. And I've kind of realised that I'm going to read stuff like that because it's... And again, I'll talk about that in the video because I don't want this one to go on even longer than it already has. So stay tuned for a video about spoilers in general. In fact, I'll discuss spoilers in general in the next video, and I won't spoil anything till the end of the video, so you can still watch the next one, and I'll tell you when to stop if you don't want to hear anything at all. So still stay tuned for the next video, and thank you for watching. And yeah, time to get even more excited about Star Wars Episode VII, The Force Awakens. Fuck yeah.